Good morning, people of YouTube. So we are back again today with a super fun deck profile. This is going to be D-Brigade slash Commandramon Turbo slash the meme that everybody knew about in Bt5, but nobody played because we were still missing one of the Commandramon and both of the Omnimons that this deck wants. This deck is widely talked about in the community. It's a deck a lot of people really like, and a lot of people that are, like, active in tournament scenes either think that this deck is hot garbage or just the rogue deck that beats them all. Like, people are so undecided about this deck, and it's really funny just going through Facebook and whatnot and just seeing everybody's opinions on D-Brigade, but it is an amazing deck, and it's a lot of fun to play around with. Yeah, just because something is lower on the tier list doesn't mean it's not good. It just means it's underrepresented. And I feel like that's definitely the case with a deck like this. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. For the babies, I'm playing 1 Missimon and 4 Sumemon. So you're playing 16 copies of the same card. So this comes up a lot. Plus, there's a Commandramon that's 5k, so this will make that go up to 7, which is pretty funny on a rookie. But the Missimon does come up. You could, as long as you're playing these two Digitama, I feel like these are interchangeable. It's just what you prefer. I prefer the Commandramon synergy with the Sumemon. On to the rookies. I got 4 Commandramon. This is the rare one that lets you play things when it's when other things are deleted, or when itself is deleted. That's the Tankmon. But we got 4 of the 2-drop Commandramon. We got 4 of the blocker Commandramon. And we got 4 of the 5k vanilla Commandramon. Yeah, you play 16 Commandramon because of this guy. Whenever he dies, you just look at the top 3 and play Commandramon. And the Tankdramon says if something dies that has D-Brigade, you look at the top 2 and play a Commandramon. So your goal is to play Commandramon. So you have to play Commandramon. Those are the rookies. On to the level 4s. We got 4 Tank. Tank is good. Tank with Sumemon gets to 8k if you have another tank, which is pretty easy to do because we play 4 of them. We play 4 copies of Sealstramon because it is a D-Brigade Digimon, so it is a obligatory 4 of in this list, and it's just a generic blocker otherwise. The last level 4 in the deck is the Security Garurumon. This card isn't really very good unless it comes out of Security, but the entire point of this deck is to spam as many bodies onto the board as possible through your effects or other means, so this is one of the other means. I do like this card specifically in a list like this. In most other decks, you would probably play a better level 4 in this slot, but in this list it does really work. And you know, worst case scenario, you have it in your hand. It's just something that you can evolve on top of to get your Tankdramon set up, or your Gogmamon to have a source. Speaking of, those are the only 2 level 5s I'm playing, is 4 copies of Tankdramon and 3 copies of Gogmamon. So Gogmamon continues to be a really good card. What you're trying to do with this deck is you're trying to get a bunch of D-Brigades in your trash so that you can set up for your power play, and a lot of the times your opponent will get to a level 6 while you're doing that. So this does 2 purposes, or this serves 2 purposes. It gets D-Brigades in your trash by digi-bursting them out of your sources, and it also becomes a 13k so that it can just punch over the level 6 that your opponent thought was safe. So I do really like this card. It's just a lot of fun, and it can help provide you the necessary tempo swings that this deck needs. Tankdramon is pretty overrated. So a lot of D-Brigade players say that this card is absolutely amazing. I just don't see it. It's pretty good, and sometimes its effect does go off. Ideally, you'd be stacking your deck with the Darkdramon to make sure that you are going to be seeing a Commandramon in your top 2 with this. But that requires a lot of setup, And it happens less often than you think it would. A lot of the times you're just swinging with Commandramons and then just dropping Darkdramon and then evolving this into, like, Zwart to end your turn and pulling back more bodies and setting up your graveyard so that you can drop a Darkdramon again. That's your line of play most of the time. I'm not going to say the Tankdramon doesn't come up, I just wish it came up more. I just wish this was a slightly better card. Just give it, like, 8k or something to just justify this card sitting on the board while it does nothing for half of the game. The other half of the game, you know, it plays more Commandramons, and that's really good. But those are my level 5s. We've already touched on the level 6s. Darkdramon is your main beater. This is the level 4 that, or I'm sorry, the level 6 that we are playing 4 of. You put up to 5 D-Brigade cards in your trash on top of your deck to gain 2 memory for each one you put back. Had to do the math there. So you play this for 13, and then ideally you gain 10 back. This card is blocked by cards like Chumon, like Terriermon, and that's just unfortunate. You kind of have to get around those cards before you just drop the Darkdramon, but you do have, like, this card as a closer in most matchups. Plus, it's just an extra swing, you know. Playing a 3-cost 11k with Rush is just never bad. Plus, it helps stack your deck for the Tankdramon and other Commandramon plays. The last level 6 that we're playing is the Black Metal Garurumon. So, it does have Reboot, which is nice. Lets you unsuspend so that you can't be attacked over on your opponent's turn. The main reason we are playing this card is because it's a really, really good Digiburst effect on a level 6 that provides you immediate value. So what it does is you Digiburst 2, typically filling your trash with more copies of D-Brigade cards for Darkdramon function. And after you Digiburst 2, you target a Digimon. If it has a play cost of 6 or less, delete it. If it has a play cost of 6 or more, trash the top card of your opponent's security. So, if your opponent has 2 Digimon in play and you can apply either effect, you get to choose which effect you activate. So it's not a mandatory you have to delete something, and then if you can't delete anything, you pop a security. It's you choose a Digimon, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you trash a security. Which is how it was ruled in Japan when this card came out. If it was re-ruled since then, let me know in the comments below. But as far as I'm aware, that is still the current ruling on this card. Plus, it just provides you immediate value. You can evolve into this and pass your turn, and then the next turn go into a level 7 and just feel really good about it. I absolutely love this card. And I feel like it's the perfect complementary mega to a deck like this. I see people playing Garurumon, and I really like Garurumon as well. It's just I don't feel like the call targets are as good with Garuru in this deck. Typically, if you're playing Garuru, you want a higher number of level 5s than what I'm playing, which is one of the reasons why I elected for this. So, onto the level 7s. I got 2 Zwart and 2 Zwart Defeat. So, these cards are absolutely amazing. These are the level 7s that this deck was missing out on in the previous set, that just provide it so much more value now. Zwart Defeat can come out in security, adding to your tempo and to your aggression, similar to the security Garurumon in our level 4 lineups. And it also just has 2 big swing effects. Like, if you Digivolve this on top of the Metal Garuru or on top of Darkdramon, then you get to pop a Tamer that your opponent has, which is very ideal in specific matchups. But whenever it dies, then you get to delete something on your opponent's side of the field, which is amazing for swinging tempo. If your opponent tries to swing over this, then they just lose the body that they swung over it with. It's nuts. And whenever you get this in security, sure, it doesn't do the battle, so you're never going to delete their Digimon in the security battle, but you just got a 13k beater on board, plus whatever Commandramon you already have, so it's absolutely nice. And then the Zwart, whenever you evolve into Zwart, you get to trash the top 3 cards of your deck, fueling more Darkdramon plays, which is absolutely important. And then you get to play 2 level 5 or less Digimon from your trash, which would typically be Tankdramon or more blockers. But Also, when attacking, you get to return the level 6 back to your hand to delete something that's 12 cost or a 12 play cost or less. And since you just put cards in your trash going into this, you pulled a couple cards out, sure, but you can kind of manipulate that. You put this back into your hand so that you're set up to drop this again, and then just keep going off. Like, Swart provides so much value to this deck. I would play 3 if I had a third one, but then I'd have to find room for a third one, and that's kind of where I'm struggling, because I do like a lot of the cards in this deck so far, and I'm really liking how this deck is playtesting. Moving right along into the Tamers, we have 3 copies of Izzy Izumi. This card can be a mini Hammer Spark and Security, but most importantly, it lets you stack your deck, which is huge whenever you get deletion effects off of with like your other Commandramon and the Tankdramon. So this helps make sure that you aren't going to whiff those. Plus, this deck kind of likes playing at 3 memory every turn, so Izzy Izumi is really nice. Next, we have the best option card in black now, 3 copies of Ultimate Flare to round out the deck. This card punishes Lord Nightmon for existing and wanting to play the game the way that it does, so that's what it gets. This deck punishes green for doing the exact same thing, as if they have to digivolve everything up, which is less of a problem in that deck, but it still really hurts. Any deck that evolves from a level 3 to a level 6 just gets blown out by this card, and every Rookie Rush deck gets blown out by this card, and yeah, it's just awesome. And even if you're not playing against a deck where this card is traditionally considered, like, good against, this card still finds ways to come up. Like, it's basically a Gaia Force, just in black. And if you're not playing Ultimate Flare in your blacklist, you probably should be. And if you're playing Security Control, you should probably try to play Mechanorimon or some other black option, or Black Tamer or something, so that you can tech Ultimate Flare in your list, because this card is very, very powerful. But, yeah, that's the list, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys are doing with your D-Brigades decks down below, and what changes you would make to this. But, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.